So far looking good. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. This time we're working on the 1997 Mustang Cobra. Watch how I take these dirty old calipers and make them going from looking like this to looking like this. I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. So hit that subscribe button and let's go. Kind of a how-to video, but I guess all my videos are how-to videos, or kinda. So with that said, we're gonna use this G2 caliper paint. But the cool thing with these kits, it comes with this little, this like epoxy almost style paint. I'm not really sure if it is epoxy. Nope, yep, it is. It's a high gloss epoxy finish. It comes with a catalyst. You pour them together, and it comes with all these little accessories. You got your mixing sticks, some swag stickers made in the USA, just like me, and 3 different brushes. Comes with some brake cleaner as well to help clean up all that stuff, and some gloves. This stuff works really, really well. And what I like to do is I'm gonna paint it on, I'll leave everything on, and then I'm gonna swap all that stuff later anyway. So you'll see the results. I'll put the link for this down below. It is a little bit more on the pricier side compared to some of the spray-on stuff, but I'm telling you, I've used it before and it holds up exceptionally well. So with that said, let's get right to it. All right, let's go, guys. All right, now that I got all the wheels off, the most important part, that is cleaning. And like I said, I'm gonna end up replacing the rotors, the pads, and everything here in the near future. So I'm not gonna worry about taking them all apart. It makes it much easier. And since I'm gonna replace it anyway, I don't really mind if I get a little bit of paint on it. So with that said, I like to start with a degreaser. This stuff's called Formula 88. I'll put a link for it below, but it's a really good degreaser. And I just spray it down like this. Try to get all the surfaces I'm gonna be painting. I have a nice little catch bucket here below me, little drip pan, and I'll just let it sit on there for just a second. And then I come by with like a brush like this, and then I'll just start scrubbing and try to start getting all that surface grease off of it and that brake dust off of it everywhere. Like that. And I'll come by, and I'll hit it with some brake cleaner. The brake cleaner works really good to get all the degreaser residue off of it. I'll let that drip for a second, and then I'll spray it again with some more degreaser, and then I'll come back around and spray it again with some more brake cleaner. All right, so while this one's soaking, I'll go and start the rear, and then I'm just gonna keep working in a circle, and I'll do that 2 or 3 times around the car, just making sure it's clean. Once I get done making my way around, I'll show you what I do for the next step of cleaning. All right, so I went around and I did the degreaser, brake cleaner degreaser, and now what I'm gonna do, I let the last spray of degreaser sit. I'm just gonna hit it with just a little bit more, and then I go ahead and I take a scrub pad. You can use a green or a brown, it doesn't really matter. And I try to get into all those little nooks and grooves on it, just to make sure I really get as much of that residue and oils and road grime and brake dust and everything else off as much as possible. Prep is really the key to any good paint job. All right, with the scrub pretty good with this pad right here, I'm gonna hit it with some more brake cleaner. Now this is gonna be the last time, and now this time all I'm gonna do is use this smaller brush and just try to knock off any last little big pieces. All right, now that I got the calipers all cleaned up, it's time for the fun part. We gotta go ahead and get our epoxy paint right here. We're gonna pop open the lid. Try not to spill this. And then you're gonna take your catalyst right here, or as they call it, your reactor. You're just gonna go ahead and pour this whole thing in the paint. And it's already set up for an 8:1 ratio. And once you get that in, you gotta stir it for about 5 minutes. That's why it comes with this handy dandy popsicle stick. The only thing with this paint is that once you open it and then you pour that reactor into it, it's done. Like you can't save it for later. You got to use it all, and then whatever's left over goes in the trash. So that's just one thing of note. All right, the paint's been sitting for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna paint around. I'm gonna try not to get it on the Cobra right here. I got two options what I can do if I do get it. I can either go back over it with a fine brush and just kind of paint the Cobra black, or I'll sand it with some sandpaper and then I'll bring that metal look back to it if I do get some on it. And then I got a finer paintbrush to get in between. But that's the plan. So let's go ahead and get started. And this stuff is, they say it's self-leveling, but it takes a few coats to get it where you need it. So and just start painting it on. So it's obviously takes a little bit of time compared to doing a rattle can, but you know, it comes out so much better. It looks almost like you had it powder coated when all is said and done. That's why I like it. One thing I like about this, it's almost a little therapeutic just to sit here and kind of paint. All right, got the first coat done, and then I'll start building layers on it. Well, all right, I got the first coat done. Now I'm gonna keep layering it, and as I layer it, that color will become more and more full and it'll look less patchy. So I'll just keep going around and we'll just keep adding layers and see how it goes. You gotta wait about 15 minutes between coats, and if you go one brake caliper at a time and work your way in a circle, usually you're pretty good by the time you get back to the first one. I like to go a little bit heavier on the second coat. All right, about to apply the third coat. That should be my final coat. As you can see, it's really starting to look like that powder coated look, and it really dries on nice and thick. But I'm really happy with these results overall. And after this third coat, should be good to go, and this should last a lifetime and stay shiny, don't fade or any of that stuff. So, all right, let's keep going. All right, it's been drying for a couple hours, and as you can see, it's starting to level out. It's looking really good, and then what I'm gonna do after it's dry, I'll probably take some sandpaper and try to polish out the Cobra logo so it pops a little bit more. But I kind of like the contrast with it open like that, with not doing the inside. Obviously, the best way to do this would be to take the calipers completely off and paint them that way. But this is just one way you can do it when using the G2 caliper paint. I guess while this finishes drying, I might as well use the time to do something else. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and change the oil. All right, I checked this oil when I first got it, but I haven't changed it since then, but I haven't really been driving it either. So let's kind of just take a quick look at it and see how this oil's looking so far. All right, well, a little dirty, but it's right where it should be. So, let's go ahead and get this out of it and swap the oil and change the filter. All right, let's get this off 16 millimeter. Man, whoever put that on, I think they torqued it a little too much. Oh yeah. That does not look great, but at least it's time to change it. I don't know if you can see this all right, but this is the oil filter right here. And it's kind of a crap design because I can already tell that as soon as I go to remove it, it's gonna spill oil on my steering rack. So let's see if I can try to save myself some mess. We will see. Got my handy oil filter wrench. All right, that should be enough. There it goes. Yep. That's a big filter. All right, let's get the new one. I got the new filter here from K&N. We'll go ahead and throw that on so I already pre-lubed the filter and its O-ring, but I'm making a little bit of a mess, which is not what I was going for, but nonetheless, we got it. All right, it's the next day. I got the K&N oil filter on. I had to go pick up a new oil drain plug because the drain plug crush washer kit I had didn't have the right size. And so I went to go get a new kit, and it was just cheaper to buy a whole new drain plug than it was to get the kit. It is what it is. That should be plenty good enough. Now all that done, let's go back up top and pour some oil in it. All right, about to start adding the oil. Went with the Mobil 1 high mileage 5W30 full synthetic. The reason why is that the high mileage stuff typically has some zinc and some other stuff in it. It helps, you know, recondition the seals, fight sludge. That's what it says anyway. Is it a gimmick? I don't know. But my plan is I'll just do this because I don't know how old that oil is. I don't know what was done with this engine before. So this oil change, I'll run the high mileage stuff through it. The next oil change, I'll drain it out and I'll go back to the normal, or probably switch back over to liquid moly or something like that. But for this, I'm going to use the high mileage and put 6 quarts of it. So let's get started. That's a good pour. As you can see, the brakes turned out really good. I'm really happy the way that the paint looks and the shine and just the quality of this caliper paint in general. So let's go ahead and throw the wheel back on and get this thing lowered and see how it looks on the ground. So far looking good. All right, got the car down off the jack stands. I think it turned out really well. It matches the color pretty good overall. I don't think it looks like a cheap spray-on job. I do believe I feel like it looks a little bit more powder coated. But overall, I'm not too shabby. I will be changing out the calipers and pads soon, so don't worry about any paint or anything like that you see on it. Those are actually going to be swapped out before I drive it again. Well, that's a wrap, guys. Thanks for watching this quick little video. There's more to come on the Cobra. We're gonna be doing some suspension upgrades. We're gonna be doing the brakes, updating the cooling. So stick around for future episodes. Hey, and I'm also still running that GoFundMe for my buddy Mike, who's fighting cancer. So don't forget to try to help and donate and support his fight with cancer. And with that said, guys, I appreciate everything. Don't worry, I'll have some more Z and some more Porsche content as well coming up in the future, maybe some racing as well. So with that, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Take care and have a great day. See ya. Hey guys, just wanted to take a second away from the video to tell you about renjaeger.com. If you're enjoying the content and you're enjoying the videos that I put out, you can really help me out and support me by going to renjaeger.com, looking at some of the apparel and merch I have over there, and it'll really help me out. Thanks. Bye guys.